Hi, I'm Traci Copeland, and this is Trainer of the Month Club with Well+Good. This month is all about running. Today I'm going to take you through a cool down. We have 7 different moves that are going to help you cool things down after you run. It's great to do after you run, no matter what distance. You could do it anywhere, anytime. Great for injury prevention. It's also going to prepare you to run the next day. Let's go ahead and get things started. First, we're going to start butterfly stretch. Bring the soles of your feet together, sit nice and tall. You can place your hands on your ankles. Make sure you're sitting equally on both sit bones, and just go ahead, lean forward, and you could walk your hands forward and release your head towards the ground. Now, if you're feeling really flexible at this point, you can go ahead and place your elbows kind of on your inner thighs to kind of manually kind of open up those hips a little bit. My hips always tend to be pretty tight, especially after I run, so this is like always my go-to stretch right after I run, the first move that I do. It's very relaxing. You can just close your eyes. You can even put a little yoga block or mat in front of you. Relax a little bit deeper. All right, we're gonna hold this just a little bit longer and then come all the way back up. We're gonna extend one leg out, moving into hamstring stretch. So what I want you to do is reach that arm up and over. So you're not just stretching out the hamstring, you're also kind of getting into that side and kind of pressing on that opposite leg, okay? So you're focusing on that side, but you're also getting a little bit deeper into that hamstring. You can open up your chest a little bit towards the sky and just kind of take a few nice, easy breaths here. Just breathe gently into it. Now let's go ahead and take it to the opposite side. One leg at a time. Get that foot close to that leg, and then just reach up and over. And just notice the difference between your right and your left side. One side's gonna be a little bit more open. So cooling down, stretching is also a great way to balance your body out. One side's gonna feel a little bit more open than the other. You might need to put a little bit more effort into your right or your left. Just wherever you are, just keep breathing through it. Okay, we're gonna move on to our hip flexors. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring one leg forward, coming into a half kneeling position, and then just start to lean forward. It's totally fine for your knee to kind of get past your ankle at this point. I can keep my hands on my hips, or if I want to make this more of a chest opener, I can bring my arms up. Kind of feels a little bit like yoga. You get a little bit deeper here. You can also stretch out the sole of your foot. So we kind of forget about our feet sometimes when it comes to running. So make sure you kind of find ways to kind of stretch the soles of your feet, especially if you've gone anywhere from like 3 to 5 miles. Feet are always going to be sore too. They need a little extra love. Now let's go ahead and take it to the opposite side. Just one leg forward. And again, just finding where that sweet spot is in your hip flexor, making sure that that tailbone is tucked under, and making sure that I'm really focusing on my hip and not my quad. And again, I'm going to flex that back foot to help stretch out the sole of my foot. Reach the arms up, chest stays open. Relax the shoulders, maybe even close your eyes. If this is a little too intense for you, you can always bring your hands right back to the ground, or bring your hands on your hips. Totally up to you. We'll be here for just a little bit longer, a few more breaths. And let's go ahead and slowly move out of it. I'm gonna keep that same leg forward. Actually, I'm just gonna go ahead and stretch. Keeping that front leg straight, flexing the toes up towards the sky or the ceiling. And as I'm here, I'm gonna really focus on keeping my back flat. No rounding through your spine. So only go as deep as you can while you keep that back nice and flat. Toes flexing towards you, nice dorsiflex action. And we'll go ahead and rebend. Let's go ahead and take it to the opposite side. Bring that opposite leg forward, flexing the toes. I'm gonna keep the back toes curled under to kind of get into the sole of my foot once again. Take nice, easy breaths here. So anytime you're cooling down and stretching, you wanna allow yourself to get a little bit deeper at the bottom of your exhale, okay? Otherwise, you're holding on to that tension, and you wanna make sure that you get a little bit deeper every time you exhale. Keeping your eyes forward, back nice and flat. Body's in one straight line. Just a few more breaths here. And then go ahead and release. Now I'm going to take it all the way to the ground, laying on my back. This should feel nice and relaxing. Hug the knees into the chest, and then I'm just going to turn both knees so they're stacked, and then I'm going to look over my opposite elbow. So you should feel this nice twist in your spine. If this is putting a little bit too much pressure on that low back, you can also put something between your knees that'll kind of help stabilize your spine a bit more. But if you feel a discomfort, then maybe don't twist quite as deep. Or you can also do one leg versus two legs. That kind of puts the pressure off of the spine. And let's go ahead and take it to the opposite side. Nice and easy. I'm just gonna go ahead and make sure my knees are stacked, looking over the opposite arm. You wanna make sure that the knees are about a 90-degree angle. That's gonna help stabilize your spine. And like I said before, at the bottom of every exhale, just make sure you're twisting a little bit deeper, getting deeper into the shape of that twist. And we're gonna go ahead and slowly take it back center. I'm gonna go ahead and come back to a seated position, kind of in a tabletop, but I'm gonna cross one leg over, and then I'm gonna scoop my hips forward, coming into figure four. So I'm making sure that that foot stays flexed. That's gonna help protect my knee, but this is also gonna get nice and deep into my piriformis. So the things that tend to be tight when you run, your hips, your hamstrings, your glutes, all those things, you wanna make sure that those things are properly stretched after you run, so you can get ready to run again the next day. So let's go ahead and take it to the opposite side, figure four. If you've done any yoga class, you've probably done something like this. If this is a little too intense and you want to take it a little bit more relaxing, you could always do the same thing lying on your back. If you want more intensity, you could just scoot your hips more forward to get a little bit deeper. Just here for a little bit longer. Just breathe through it. Stay tall and lifted in your chest. And then go ahead and slowly release. Now let's go ahead and take yourself to a standing position. I'm just gonna have you separate your feet about hips distance apart and take forward fold. Making sure that you have the weight in all four corners of your foot. Now, what I like to do in forward fold is just take hold of opposite elbows so I can kind of let my spine release as well. Shaking your head, yes, no. So the best way to run is not with any stiffness or tightness in your body. You want to be nice and relaxed as a runner. You notice that when those runners are at the finish line, they're not like tense. They're actually really relaxed at that finish line, their muscles in their jaw. So you want to have that same effort throughout your body, especially as you're cooling down. And just go ahead and release your arms. Slowly come up to stand. And so whether you do all 7 moves or just a few at a time, it's really important that you get a good stretch in after you run. So your cool down is all about injury prevention, resetting after your run, but also making sure you're ready to get out there for your next run. My name is Traci Copeland. I'll see you again soon. Peace out.